Hello, everybody. This is Kirsten, and this is the Rock Your Biz Blab. And today we have Diamond Williams, who is a business and life coach. And she's going to tell you a little bit more about herself and what she does. And then I'll let you know what we're going to talk about today. I do have a couple questions that I got from people before we started that I would love to ask you, but mostly just get your advice on how you can take a new business, because you can explain that you've had some older businesses and then you started a new biz. And I want to know how you took everything you learned from your old businesses and applying to your new business and what's changed over the years with social media and stuff like that. So the reason we do this blab every week is to help you guys who are watching this have a incredible, exciting business that you love and that is successful and making money. So thank you for being here, Diamond. Why don't you tell us a little bit more about you?
Hi, everyone. I am Diamond. I was born and raised in Miami, Florida. I now live in Orlando. My background is in mental health. I practice counseling and on the psychiatric ward on both a marriage and family level and a intense psychiatric level. For 7 years, I have worked on a corporate and a governmental level. However, I just realized that I couldn't control the situation. I couldn't be as hands-on with my clients like I would have liked. And I continue to feel like I was helping people according to what I was getting paid, or I was restricted to help people because of my laws and regulations based on Florida. So I decided, you know what? I have enough knowledge. I have enough education and background. I have enough clients and people that believe in me. Why not go out and start it myself? So here I am. It's Diamond Starling. It's my consulting firm. I help small businesses from the ground up, whether it's with business planning and marketing, social media marketing, from the smallest thing, from building a website to starting a name, anything that you can have about your business that you may not be able to conform or composite in your mind, I pull it out for you and I make things happen. I also venture in life coaching. I do something that's called a mind map. I pull out your ideas. I have a conversation with you, and then I plan from there. I show you this great map that encourages you more so to follow your 5-year goals and to actually give you an action plan to help you achieve that. And the new company that Christian is speaking of is my luxury eyelash line. It's called Meek. It's I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm speaking fast. It's called Alexander Xavier. It's a Meek lash line. And with that, I kind of tied it into my women empowerment. And I figure, you know what? I feel like $1 million when I get to put on lashes. It made my makeup come to life. It made me feel like a different person. It made me feel like a superstar, like I was going somewhere important. And that's kind of how I tied in my lashes with not only my nonprofit, which is called Lori's Daughter, that I help with battered women, but also with my consulting firm.
Awesome. Well, that is a lot. You have a lot going on, and that is exciting. And that's one of the things that I was attracted to you with is all the things you have going on. Because for the people who know me, I'm also have like 8 million things going on all the time because there's so many great opportunities out there, and there's so many great things. So why don't we start with how long ago did you open your lash line business?
My eyelash line, I've been thinking about it for the last year. However, production went into, I want to say August. So it's very new. And I have
that's what I want. That's why I wanted to kind of talk about that one, because a lot of the people who are going to be watching this or that are here right now have either a newer business or a business they're not really sure how to get going. And so since you are actually taking all your past knowledge and experience and launching a new business, I would love to hear the process that you went through since you already knew what to do. You know, a lot of people start businesses and they're like, I don't know what to do. So, but you already knew what to do. So coming from an expert, what are the steps that you took when launching your eyelash business?
Well, my first step on a personal level, I really had to formulate the thought. I had to make myself realize, like, you know what, Diamond, you have the education, you have on both sides, whether it was fashion and business. And I had to convince myself that you could make this happen on a professional level. I started off literally with the name. It took me forever to come up with this name because I said, you know, I needed something I wanted something that sounded out of this world that no one would thought about. I didn't want anything like pretty lashes or mink lashes, everything out of the normal. I wanted people to wonder, to bring curiosity to the name. So that's how I started. And from there, I gave myself my own mind map. So I wrote the name down. I made it visual. I made it come to life. And then I literally started from there. Who was my target audience? How would I sell my lashes? How would I distribute my lashes? Where would I get the lashes from? What will be my profit? What will be my return of interest? If I bought them for this much and I sold them for this much, how would I make the profit? How would I continue it going? It went from the logos to the website. So I literally just been birthing my baby since August, and it sounds crazy. And I know it sounds kind of thrown together right now because, we do have a limited time to speak on it, but that's pretty much how it goes. And what you don't understand is doing these simple little steps really composites your business plan. This is really your business plan. This is really telling you the name of the company, the mission, the goals, your financial records. Even though it goes deeper than what I'm saying now, this is truly how you get it off the ground and how I got my lash line off the ground, and I'm continuing to keep it in production.
So to start off for people, so let's say somebody's watching this and they're like, I just started a business and I'm overwhelmed. I have 3 kids screaming in the background. I have, my husband needs me to cook them dinner or whatever. Tell me the first 3 things to do so that I can get my business started. Because you mentioned, a name, a target market. Are those the very first steps that you would recommend for anyone starting their own business?
My first 3 steps that I will recommend is the name. And the reason why I say the name and even the logo, because it becomes real. When you write it down on paper, when you have something to call it, it becomes real to you. Secondly, I would definitely say your target audience, because that allows you to visualize the people that's going to wear it or use the product, or who you're going to sell your product to. And then thirdly, the mission. Why did you even start it in the first place? You need a purpose. You need a purpose to tie into your dream. Even though we may love what it is that we do, why are we doing it? What is going to keep us waking up at 7 o'clock in the morning? And for entrepreneurs like ourselves, that's going to keep us up at 5 o'clock in the morning? Because you have those nights. You no longer have a 9 to 5 when you're birthing a company.
I love that you included the mission in the top 3, because I completely agree with you that if you don't have your mission, something you're excited about, something that keeps you moving, one little thing and you're out. Like, Diamond and I had a hard time connecting because I crashed my car on Monday, and it's in the shop, and it's just been a pain in the butt and dealing with insurance and stuff. But yeah, and she had a couple things this week that were going crazy for her too. And even last night, you said that you were, dealing with medical stuff all night. And those are things that if you don't have a strong why, it would be so easy for us to say, like Diamond could have said, I was up all night. I'm not going to be able to get on the blab with you today because I'm exhausted and I'm not prepared because I was dealing with something else all night. That would be so easy for her to do. And that's kind of a good excuse. Like her being up all night in the hospital is a good excuse. Me having a car crash, these are good excuses. So it's easy for us to talk ourselves into, oh, well, I have an excuse not to do that. Whereas both of us were really highly motivated and we have that strong why. So we're not going to let that stop us no matter what. So let me ask you this, Diamond, because you do life coaching as well, which ties exactly right into this. But how do you, because this is something I struggle with. I have teams that I work with and I want to know their why. But a lot of times either they don't know their why or they say something like, I want to make money, but that's not their deep, true, meaningful why. That's just the first thing that pops into their head. So what do you have a process that you use to help pull out people's why?
With my clients, honestly, what I tell them to do is take a step back. I give them a break for the next day or the next 3 days, depending on their schedule. And I tell them, take a step back. Think about what it is that you absolutely love to do that you could not live another day without doing. Think about the company you're looking about starting, thinking about the book you're thinking about writing, and visualize it in your mind. Visualize it, visualize every accident, incident that can transpire. And if in your soul that you just cannot walk away from it, then that is your purpose and that is your why. To be honest, whether you're writing a cookbook, opening up a daycare, whether you are wanting to open up a car dealership, what is your why? Do you want to open this car dealership for the money? Do you enjoy and receive gratification from the satisfaction of your clients being able to get approved from a car and drive off? What is it? What is it that drives you? And I feel like sometimes we get so overwhelmed with all of the questions and all of the business aspects, especially now with social media, feeling like we have to tweet and get on Facebook and get on Blab and get on Instagram. And we just get so overwhelmed when we start feeling like I'm getting left behind. Like she has it together. We start following people that we are. I don't like to say we're in competition with. I like to say that we are their mentors and they are our mentors. I don't really like the word competition. And, we start following our mentors and it's like, she has it all together. But then when you really go research your mentor, you realize, well, it took her 5 years to have it all together. It makes you kind of act like, of course, I'm not going to have it all together right now. But it took me that time and that moment to clear my head to really focus on the purpose. And that's pretty much what I tell my clients. You have to give yourself that time to really understand what's going on. If not, you're going to burn out. Or when you have a situation like ourselves, you get in a car wreck or I have a medical issue, we're going to say, you know what, I can't deal with this. I'll come back to it. And then 10 years later, we'll still be trying to come back.
Oh my gosh, that's so true. So how do you work when you work with your clients, whether it's business or personal, if they're in that place and they stepped away from it or they took too long of a break trying to figure it out, how do you get them back into action? Because there's a kind of a fine line. Do you think that there's a fine line between like thinking about it and doing it?
Oh, yes. Well, honestly, and which is why she named why she titled the Blab what it is. I am very no nonsense. And my friends and my clients, they know my personality. I'm very hands-on. I'm very aggressive. I do not let you rest. If you sign up with me or if you are friends or family, you can forget it. You cannot tell me that you want to dream. I am a firm believer that you will always achieve and you can always have anything that you want. But you have to believe, and I am your believer. I am the person that will call you all day long, will text you, will send you research. I am going to show you that you have support and that you have the necessary help, that person that's encouraging you. And I feel like a lot of people kind of fall by the wayside because they don't feel like they have that encouragement. They don't feel like anyone is watching. So I'm here to let them know, like, oh, I'm watching you and I'm paying attention. I'm going to hold you accountable to what is going on. And I'm going to post you on my social media websites. I'm going to send you information. I'm going to ask you how is it going, because that's going to make you feel like, oh my God, I have nothing to tell her. I don't have anything. And you're going to start feeling accountable. Like, wait a minute, I need to give her some answers, or I need to have answers for myself. And people really start to reflect about that. And that's kind of how they come back in. I do have clients that say, you know what, I'm just really not at this point right now. I really don't know how to go forward. And I have to respect that, and I give them my space, but then I set them up in my, in my calendar and in my email. And I say, you know what, I'm going to give y'all 3 months and I'm going to come back at you with it. And the majority of the time, it's really not about the money with me, because I feel like my reputation and my work is going to speak for itself. So if you come out and you're confident, you're happy about what you're doing, people are going to buy into whatever it is you're selling or whatever it is you're speaking of. And you're going to remember that girl, that aggressive girl, that the one that bugged you all night long and chimed into all of your webinars and made you hold yourself accountable. And you're going to remember what that felt like, and you're going to want to continue.
Right. I love that. So let me ask you this, because this kind of goes along. I mean, I'm sure when you get coaching clients, you're assuming that you have permission to be a hard ass on them with them because that's what they signed up for. So other people in your life, maybe your friends or family or other people that you want to see them succeed, of course, and you know that your method works, but they might not have been so consensual to that. You still just, this is who I am. I'm just gonna, this is what you get. And if it hurts their feelings, it hurts their feelings. And if not, then, I mean, is that kind of, or do you have do you tiptoe around a little bit, or do you just jump right in?
I am definitely not a tiptoe kind of person. I really do. I'm not. I really show my personality in the first meeting, in the first phone call. And I'll let you know, listen, I have a very strong personality. I am very passionate about what it is that I do. I'll let you know right up front, listen, this is not about the money with me. I got into this because I felt unsupported. I felt like no one was tying into my dreams. So I decided to believe in my dreams and go for it, which is why I got into life coaching and why I got into consulting. And I let you know, listen, it's not going to be tough. I mean, easy. It's not going to be easy. I'm not going to let you think it's easy because I'm going to remember you when I can't sleep at night and why I am trying to, why I'm trying to succeed in life. And it's kind of like a believe it kind of thing. It's like either you're going to accept me from my passion and my heart, and everyone will tell you I have the biggest heart in the world. I will give up my time, energy, money, whatever I have to do to encourage you to succeed. However, I will not let you pull me down in a bucket with you. So if you can't handle it where I am in my life, and I'm not coming to you as a millionaire, I'm not coming to you as someone that knows everything. I'm not coming to you as this person that is tuning my nose up and looking down at you. I'm coming at this person that's merely kneeling on the side of you and reaching my hand out like, hey, I walked this journey. Let me walk it with you. And I honestly and truthfully have realized that how I handle myself in those matters, they never leave. They really get it. I have some people that kind of just say, you know what, I can't deal with this. I know her. I don't want to deal with this. But for right now, they stay, they leave and then, they come back sometimes or, they don't come back. But at the end of the day, they always, I am who I am. I can't change who I am. I'm not going to change who I am. It's never out of malice. It's never out of anger or bitterness or jealousy. It's merely out of love and passion for what it is that I do. And now I'm passionate about you because now you're a part of my dream too.
Yeah, I actually just wrote a blog post about how each of us we can't please everyone. We're not everyone's cup of tea. We're not out there to be a part of everyone's life.
Oh, yes.
So it's okay and to let that go. So what do you suggest? Because this is I work with a lot of women, and I found that women in general tend to take things pretty personally when they have when they reach out to people for help and people don't want to help them, or they like someone who's a little bit more of a hard ass kind of tells them like it is and they're not ready to hear that, and so how would you tell those people to start working toward not taking things so personally? Does that make sense, the question? I'm not asking it the right way. I want to help. Yeah. Okay.
No, it definitely is. I honestly believe I have sort of a cheat sheet because my background is in counseling and mental health. I can kind of pull out those personalities and I play off them. Like if I see you kind of reaching away, you're very, you're not encouraged, you feel unsupported, or you begin to feel unpretty, or you're shy, you don't want anyone to see you, you don't want to be the face of your company. You are constantly asking me, is this okay? You're a people pleaser. I pull out your weaknesses and I make them your strengths, and I identify them. And I go, you know what? I don't understand why you keep asking me about your dreams. I want you to tell me about your dream. I want you to make me a believer. I want you to understand this. And when they begin to get defensive, the more defensive they get, I have to come back and ask them, well, why are you being, what is it about me that you see in yourself? What is it that you can see in me? Why do you feel this way? This has to be something more personal that's going on with you to make you even feel like I'm attacking you, because pretty much that is what women often think, that we're attacking them. And I get that a lot. especially from a lot of my friends and family. And it's like, listen, everyone doesn't go to college. Trust me. I agree. Everyone does not go to college. Everyone is not. Listen, I can't do hair. I don't try to. I don't even try to put my hair in a ponytail, you know? Like, everyone has their own little path of life. So I'm not here to tell you, oh, I know everything, so let me tell you what I know. No, that's merely the opposite. I'm here so you can make me an expert about what it is that you love. And I'm going to take what I've learned through my experience and my education, and I'm going to show you a way to continue it, to have it continue to grow. And that's honestly is really how I work. And it's just, I honestly feel like I keep people because how passionate and how sincere I really am. You do have some people that they're going to believe what they want to believe. They're going to feel how they want to feel. That's just life. I can't do anything with that. You just have some people that have a darker hole than you can reach, and I do have a nonprofit for that where I help battered women and with the umbrella of HIV. So I have so many different entities that kind of ties into the whole atmosphere. But for people that do not have my kind of background, I honestly will encourage you to just be sincere. Your sincerity and your genuine love about someone and their product or their dreams, or even a friendship or relationship, whether it's family or domestic, it's going to produce great fruit, because you can't get bad from good. Right. Period. You learn something bad, amazing, but you can't go back from being good. You just, it's no way.
Right. So if somebody comes, or if I notice, a girl on my team, she's just taking everything so personally, instead of saying, hey, don't take things so personally, say, you know what? That's awesome that you are so sensitive and you're such an emotional person that you're taking this seriously. So you're taking this so personally. So just go with that and be that sensitive person and put it out there and say, hey, you know what? I love you guys and I care about what you think. So just to own who you are no matter what.
Exactly. If you see them putting their heads down, they're frustrated, they're aggravated, they look like they're cursing you from A to Z, they just do not understand what you have going on, tie into whatever it is that they're feeling. Because at that time, guess what? They're going to feel like, well, why is she so happy? Even with what I have on, why is she still talking to me? You cannot be angry at someone that's happy. I'm sorry. I do it all the time. I laugh a lot. The madder people get, the happier I get. Trust me. And the louder you get, the calmer I get, because trust me, I am a tornado once I am angry. However, it takes a lot to get me there. So I tie into people's attitude. I'm like, oh, okay, you're not having a good day. Well, I'm having a great day. So let me tell you about my day. And if they still try to blow you off, sometimes you literally just have to leave them where they are. It's like, okay, look, you didn't have coffee today. Starbucks line was long. You didn't want to be late for work. I get it. I'm going to let you have this right now. We're going to discuss this at a later time, because we have to humanize the situation. We're human. I know how I feel about my makeup. If I cannot get my lipstick correct in the morning, you can forget it. I'm not going to be on camera. I don't want to go outside. And I'm natural. So if my hair is not braided and it's raining, I have attitude all day. You have to just leave me where I'm at right there. Because it's nothing you're going to be able to do, to handle what's going on. And I think that a lot of times people overdo it. Sometimes you could just care too much. You cannot care about somebody and their goals more than they do. But a person and a sincere person can see that. I can look at you. I can look at someone, and I do it all the time. I'm in my mind, I'm like, you're so talented. Like, why do you, in my mind, I'm like, why don't you want to do anything? But then I have to think like, Diamond, that's not your monkey, not your circus. It is something deeper than what you can handle. And if they can't accept what it is that you're trying to offer to them, you have to let that go. And you have to let them come back to you and let them be able to say, hey, I just can't handle this right now. This is not where I'm at. Because some people feel they get defensive, especially when you speak about business. Because truth be told, and I hate to bust people's bubble, everyone is not meant to own a company. Everyone is not meant to be a CEO. I'm sorry. But guess what? If everyone was a CEO, we'll never get nothing done, because who will be our workers? And that's just the reality of the situation. So sometimes you just have to meet them where they are. You know, they're not going to own a company. They're going to work a 9 to 5. So then you can encourage them to, well, why don't you work somewhere that gives you great joy? Why don't you work somewhere that's going to give you pride, that's not going to make you embarrassed when you're around other people, that you're not going to have to feel empty on the inside about, that you're going to feel great about clocking in wherever it is that you go. When you think about it, when they started allowing the disabled to work at Publix, or, you know, to be like the greeters, they are very excited about having an opportunity to be the first person that you see. So you have to go with them. You can't feel bad for them because they're happy. You know, you can't make them want to be. You cannot realistically put someone in a situation they merely cannot handle. And that's, I really look onto that a lot. I really look at it like this. This may not be the best thing for you, but let me give you some options. Let me show you a different way. Because at the end of the day, if you encourage someone like me, and I always use me for an example because I love for people to see that I am human and that I think the same thoughts. Don't encourage me to do hair. Don't ask me about it. I can't do ponytails. We're just not going to go that route. I'm never going to go to hair school. If you ask me to brush your hair, it's going to hurt. It might be naughty. I can't even wash hair correctly. That's just not something I'm going to do. However, if you want to open a salon, my knowledge with business has nothing to do with doing hair. However, I can show you how to build a company where you can do hair inside of it. So you got to go with your strengths and work on them. But honestly, it really depends on the individual wholeheartedly. It really does, because you can't people can feed off your energy, but they can't feed off your passion. Because you know what that creates is jealousy. Right. If they're passionate about is that you're doing, they're not tied into your dreams, your focus, your goals. And when your dreams and focus and your goals go right, and they feel like, well, hey, you left me on this corner, you start feeling guilty, like, well, I gotta bring them with me. They was there with me. But
yes, that's huge.
Again, like, not your monkey, not your circus. They chose to tie into your life like that, so you cannot feel regretful that they chose to support you. You can't sit back. You know what? God, they wasted 5 years helping me build this up. No, they did not, because they had an option to tie into your company in a way that they could benefit from. They had an option to go on with their own life. They didn't have to just follow behind you. They can learn from what you're doing. They can be excited about what you're doing, but they can say, hey, I got my own life too. I have my own dreams too. I'm going to pull from what it is that you're doing so that I can learn and I can do this by myself, but I'm not going to be your book bag. So nothing really you can do. And it may be my straight to the point personality, but that's really how I am. And with everyone around me, they will let you know. I will tie you into something I'm doing very fast, especially if I can pull off of your strengths. Like I have a baby sister and she's into fashion and everything else. And I pulled off her strengths. I know she likes to model and she's designed to do clothes and that kind of thing. And I know that's what it is that she's into. So I pull off that and I start thinking, well, how can I pull her into this? I can send her my lashes, like she has to get her makeup done. And I will pull you into anything that I'm doing, but I'm pulling you into what I'm doing, not for you to be in my shadow, but for you to realize that, you know what, my talent can tie into anything. So now they have a chance to think outside of the boxes that they were already thinking inside of. Right.
Right. So have you always been that way, that you could just let it go if people aren't receptive to what you're doing and you want it more for them, but you can't do anything about that? Have you always been that way, or was that something that you learned or practiced, or how did that come about?
No, I have not always been that way. I had a hard time letting go. I really did. I had a hard time with allowing people to just fall off by the wayside. I felt like, you know what, if I'm getting on top of this mountain, you coming, if I have to put a belt around you and drag you up this mountain myself. But over the last 5 years, 6 years, I started to realize, you know what, you're not getting anywhere dragging these people behind you. So you have to let them go. You have to leave them where they are and let them catch up to you when it's their time. And if they never catch up to you ever again in your life, that's just where they are.
And so, so what was it that helped you get to that place?
Self-awareness.
Okay.
I literally had to take the time to realize that I am important, that my dreams come first, and that I will never get where I'm trying to go worrying about someone else. So when I started to realize, like, I'm really not finishing my book, I'm really not completing this project for someone, I'm really not handling this situation well because I'm frustrated because of this person, I had to let it go. I'm at that point right now. I start to tell people very quickly, you know what? I understand. That's my favorite word. I get it. And I get real quiet and I'll passively look, but I am not a passive aggressive kind of person. But I'm just at that point right now in my life that, listen, I'm very happy right now. I'm very positive. I'm focused. I have so much going on. And I just can't manage both of us right now. So you can either bring positivity to the situation and we can go together, or we have to part ways. And that's just where I'm at this moment. I just really had to learn that everyone is no one is ever going to be exactly where you are. And everyone is meant to go where you're meant to go, truthfully. So you have to let it go. Honestly, you really have to let it go. And that's on a personal and a professional level. I stopped dating for a long time because I was like, listen, even though I work from home and I look like I'm home in pajamas, answering emails and phones and going on social media, that does not mean I have free time. And I have to realize, like, listen, someone either going to respect what it is that I'm doing and I'm building, or they're not. And that's just the bottom line. I got so tired of defending my goals and my passion that I shut it all down. I was just like, I can't. And I tell everyone that I can't be bothered. My friends and family will tell you, I would say that, so I can't be bothered. Like, I can't. I just shut down and I go for what I know. Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. Well, I want to start wrapping it up because I want to keep this around 30 minutes. But I do have a question from one of the girls on my team. This has nothing to do with anything we've been talking about. But I love what we were talking about. So I wanted to just throw this in at the end just so she gets it answered. Because so basically she was in business a few years ago and networked a lot and got out on the town all the time, meeting new people, collecting business cards. And then she took a couple years break and now she's coming back, starting her own business again. And it's the same business that she hasn't reached out to these people. And she said she has files and files, about 600 business cards, and she has no idea what to do with it. So what would you, as a business owner and a business coach, suggest she does with that?
Contact every last person on your business card.
Okay.
Paint the picture, make it visual. I encourage people when you take business cards from people, write their names on it. Make it very personal because people love to remember that you remember them. We love to feel like rock stars. All of us, each and every when we see friends or old associates out and about, we love people to say, "Hey, Diamond, oh my gosh, how you been?" We love that personalization and that intimate moment. I encourage you to write every last one. Call them, leave voicemails, email them, send them your information. Say, "Hey, we met a long time ago. Life happens, but I'm here now." Try to volunteer, depending on what kind of company it is. Try to get involved in their company. When I mean involved, I mean you have to go purchase what they're doing, but at least be knowledgeable what it is that they're doing. Do not make them feel like, oh, you're just going to drop me off at the door and come pick me up. When you feel like, know what it is that they're doing. Know in your mind when you reach out to them what it is that you're reaching out for.
Okay.
So if you want them to be a supporter, a consumer, a associate, a partner, whatever it is that your ultimate goal is with them, know that. Because people with time, people that have time don't have money. And people with money, they don't have a lot of time. So they're not going to try to figure out what it is that you're talking about, where you met at, depending on the person. I'm very open to that. So I can talk all day long with someone that emails me or call me. However, a lot of people don't have that kind of time. So they're going to get to the point like, oh, hey, what did we meet? What did we meet about? They may say very passive aggressively, like, move along. What is this conversation about? But at the end of the day, I encourage you to reach out to them. If you have 600, maybe 200 people may not respond. The other 400 may be very well, they may remember you. They may understand. They may have been trying to find you. So don't let the time get in the way of your progression.
Okay.
And like I show me your teeth, you have to be able to get big. Meaning, like, if you come to me with something, you have to ready to go. Right then when you come to me, because I feel like you came to me because either you were drawn to me by something that I did or something that I have. So while I'm doing that, I need you to know what you came for. I need you not to waste my time because I'm not going to waste your time. Pretty much is what, you know.
Awesome. I love it. And she's going to love Awesome. I love it. Love that answer.
Love that answer.
And is it really echoey right now?
And is it really echoey right now? A little bit.
Let me turn my volume down. Maybe that will. So tell us, told me about what you're doing coming up, and I would love to hear about it. I know if some people would be completely interested in that. So tell us about that.
I couldn't hear you. You started echoing a little. You were asking me about my event.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
It's super echoey. So yeah,
it's super echoey.
About your
I see. I can't type it in. I couldn't hear you.
All right. Well, we might just have to. Because I don't. What's going on with the volume? It just sounds really echoey. It just sounds really echoey. So somebody told me I need headphones.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Okay.
It still sounds the same to me.
No, I can hear you.
You can hear me good?
Well, you can hear me good?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, somebody else said that. I can't. Golden, why don't you tell us how we can get find you and get a hold of you?
Okay, well, with It's Diamond Darling, you can find me on Instagram, It's Diamond Darling. On Facebook, I am It's Diamond Darling Consulting Firm. And all of my information is there as well.
Okay.
So if you need to reach me, pretty much that's everything is It's Diamond Darling. My email is It's Diamond Darling @icloud.com. And currently, I am offering 30-minute sessions for free to just call in with me and kind of get a feel for my personality, get some questions answered that you've been having to even allow you to formulate the thought of the company or your next 5-year goal.
Okay. And how do they get a hold of you?
Email me at its Diamond Darling, DIAMOND, Darling, DARLING @icloud.com.
Okay. All when I post this recording, I'll put my information there as well. So people can get a hold of you. And thank you so much for being here today. I definitely want to have you back when we can talk about some different things. We can talk about vast knowledge of business and personal growth. That's two things I'm super amazing. So thank you so much today, and I can't thank you.
Have a great day and stay in communication with me, and I'll reach out back to you as well.
Awesome.